Hey, Chris here. We're going to look at a custom widget and a custom link up on our nav bar, and I'm going to link them both to a Google Slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a published Google Slide, and then I can just edit on here, and then it'll automatically show up in my widget, whether I want to put the widget here or in the big widget, and also a link. And so we could use this for a few things. We may use it for a bank of videos we've created. It could be for your daily agenda or your daily expectations, lots of stuff we could do. So I can look at my Google Slide first, and I can add slides as I want to. Just want to show you how to, if you haven't, put a YouTube video in there. So I'm going to go to my YouTube, and I'm going to, go to Share, Copy, come back to my Google Slides. I'm going to say Insert and Video, and what I did was I searched for that video, and here it is. I'm going to say Select. Note a few things come up over here. You can say it plays on click, or you can have it play automatically. I prefer play on click because it's annoying if it plays automatically on you. And you can also tailor it to say it doesn't start until minute 8 and then end at minute 12 or whatever if you're doing some kind of section of that long video. So that's in there. We're now going to publish this to the web. So I'm going to say File, Publish to the web. We only have to do this once, and then it's going to show up on our course. So the link I'm going to use when I do the custom link in my nav bar, the embed I'm going to use for the widget. So I'm going to do the embed one first. Size, we're not going to worry about that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that in a minute. But you can do, small, medium, large, but we can also get a little fancier. I'm going to say auto advance every minute, so the student it'll change on them, but we don't have to worry about it going too fast on them, and maybe restart after the last slide. I'm going to say there's a few other settings here. I could restrict it to my school board, but I don't want to. They're in the class to do it anyway. I'm going to say publish, and that gives me this embed code. Okay, so I'm going to copy that embed code, and I'm going to use it in a little bit. So I'm going to come back to my course, and I want to create a new widget to go into my home page. So I can edit my home page by going course admin, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new widget. And I'm going to create a custom widget. There's all kinds of other widgets you can pull from here. So I'm going to say Jalil Daily. You don't have to put a description if you don't want to. You can do a release condition to say only teachers can see this or only students can see this. I'm going to jump right to content. The content is just like any other content. If you're doing any kind of editing, you can put whatever you want in here, customize it any way you want. I'm just going to only put in that Google slide deck. So I'm going to say insert stuff, and I'm going to go down to embed code and paste this stuff. Now I'm going to get a little tricky here. I'd like to make sure the width I'm going to say is 100%. What that just means is it fills with whatever the width of the screen is of that section of that widget. Height I'm going to leave there for now. We can play with that if you want to. Okay, but you can make it kind of smallish. Next, that gives me a preview, insert, save and close. So now remember I called it Jalil Daily. It's not on my home page yet. So I went back to my home page, it's not there. So I have to make sure I get it on my home page. The very bottom, you can go into here, the 3 dots dead at the home page, or we can do it from course admin and home pages. You may have a default one there. I'm using this one right now, but you may have a default one. You have to make a copy of it before you can actually edit it. I've already made a copy of this one, so I'm going to go ahead and edit this one, and it's my active home page. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and say I want to add another widget. I think I'll stick it on the right hand side. I could put it in the middle. I'm going to stick it on the right hand side. Add widget. I'm just going to search for that one. Okay, Jalil Daily, there it is. I'm going to say add, and I'm going to move it to the top. Save and close. In your home pages, make sure that the one you've just edited is the one that's active, so it shows up, and I'm going to go back to my home page. And there's my widget embedded. Students can scroll through the slides this way, but even better, they can click on and see it on a main side. And if they go through to this video, they can click on the video. They can pause the video, they can full screen the video, it's all there for them. Okay, so that's the one. The second one, I want to do the same thing, but I'm going to put it along the top here. So remember when we were on this part, the embed code, this time I'm just going to take the straight link. Okay, and again, I think I'm going to make it every minute, And as soon as they click on it, it's going to work and it's going to restart. And that's the link I'm going to need. So I'm going to copy that and let's make the link at the top here. So I'm going to go here, edit this nav bar. First time you do that, it may ask you to make a copy of the nav bar. I'm going to add a link and I'm going to create a custom link this time. Enter name. So that's what's going to show up underneath there. So I'm going to maybe I'll just call it daily. And the URL is what we just cut and pasted from the Google Slides. Okay. And you can have a few other things here. I want this one to actually jump out into a new window or tab because I don't want it inside the screen. I want it to jump somewhere else so they see it in full screen. And the icon, I'm going to make a new icon here. So if you haven't used Bitmoji before, you can go ahead and I'm going to go for my Bitmoji. And I like this one here. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to say save image as, and it's going to go into my desktop. I've got a temp folder. I'm just going to call it, it gives a big crazy long name. I'm just going to call it D2L. Save. It showed up at the bottom of my screen. I could drag it there or I could say upload. And there it is there. I could limit it that only some people can see this, so only teachers can see it, only students can see it, whatever. I don't need to. I say create. Okay, there it is there. It's already selected. So I'm just going to say add. I'm going to maybe stick it in the middle of my toolbar here. Save and close. So now the same thing happens. It's sitting right there, a little bit personalized. It says see you in class. When I click on that, it runs that Google slideshow. And they can scroll through it, they can watch the videos, they can pause, etc. And now if I went back to my actual slideshow, I could insert a new slide if I want to. Slide, duplicate slide. I can change this to, you know, another video, change the date. I'm just going to call that February 18th. Perhaps you want to put the most recent at the top of the screen so they see the most recent date first. Do whatever you want in here. My wife says it's dorky putting the Bitmojis in, so that's why I do it. All right, I'm going to stick in this one. Right click, copy image, paste. Okay, I don't need to do anything. It's saved automatically. So if I went back to my home course, the student refreshes the page, or next time they log into it, that daily announcement one, if I click through, is going to have that new one called thinking. And the same thing as if they hit the toolbar, it pops open to a new one. And my newest slides there. So I don't have to go back and do anything in my course. It's already ready to go. And it's archived because it's all there. And I can just keep editing my Google Slides. Now some elementary teachers may do this where they only have today's, so the student doesn't scroll through a whole bunch of things. They just have today's agenda because they're working daily. High school, maybe you're going to have it archived so that the most recent starts at the top and then they can go back and see day by day. It's not taking away from content, it's just doing that daily check-in.